Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and we have a brand new breakdown for you today on Kenny Pickett, the quarterback from Pittsburgh, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals.
We don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video.
Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so Kenny Pickett is actually quickly becoming who I think should maybe be the first overall quarterback picked here in the upcoming draft, at least in the top three. You know, he's 6'3", 220 pounds, 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 86.4 QBR as of right now. You know, those are great numbers. 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You know, they played a good overall, you know, they played Tennessee, they played Virginia Tech, they played Clemson, you know, so they had a lot of great games. This is obviously the game against Clemson, and mechanics-wise, he has a lot of really good things going for him. He reminds me a lot of Justin Herbert, you know, just in terms of his overall size and, you know, kind of the ability to get the ball out of his hands quickly here. And big thing that stands out here is just, you know, really being good balance on the balls of the feet, right, and being able to push off the back leg, create fast rotation, and being able to get the ball out of the hands, and then, you know, accuracy. So consistently, he is really on target in a lot of, I mean, Pittsburgh, I don't think has the same type of receivers as, you know, the Alabamas and the Oklahomas and you know, some of those top schools. And so there are a good amount of drops that he has, you know, with the team. There's a good amount of holding calls that they have. So there really ends up being a lot that goes into his, you know, success, and also in some instances lack of success, you know, because they end up having 2 losses this year. You know, and in both of those losses, they put up 30 plus points. And so it just goes to show that there's, you know, I think that some of the losses they had is not necessarily in, you know, was his fault in particular. Things that stand out is great base, right? Great position as he's starting here. He gets the ball back. Let's go ahead and look at his breakdown here, 141.137, and then he gets the ball out at 141.437, right? So it's another 0.3. Okay, 0.3 until he gets the ball out of his hands. Nice and quick release. He doesn't get the ball back behind his head. That's what I wanted to show you guys here in this view. Not getting that ball back behind the head, just fast elbow, gets that wrist around, right? We see a lot of the same type of things over and over again when we look at these breakdowns, which is why we know, you know, what ends up being the most important part of having good, solid quarterback mechanics in comparison to mechanics that are just not going to get you to the next level. There's some guys that I think have good overall, you know, throwing distance or throwing power, but have to wind up a lot in order to do it. But most people that I do breakdowns on really struggle from a power perspective and also struggle from a, you know, release time perspective. So I almost feel like the better and more consistent you could be with your release time, the better you're going to be with being able to throw the ball with more power, more velocity on it. I think those two things end up going hand in hand here in order to have success. Get another good throw here. This is a deeper throw. And you know what I like about this is he really stays to his fundamentals, right? He's still pushing off that back leg. He's still generating rotation from that lower body. You know, you can see his lower body ends up leading here. That ends up being a big problem that we see is good mechanics within like a 15 to 20 yard radius, and then once you have to throw the ball 40, 50 yards, really starting to open up that front shoulder a lot earlier and really not being able to push off that back leg with the same amount of force. So he still has consistent push off, consistent rotation out of the lower body, no matter if he's throwing the ball deep or underneath. This is a good throw, you know, in my opinion, put it where his receiver can get to it. Ended up not really being able to complete it, but ended up being still a good throw overall. Here was an awesome throw, throwing on the run, you know, rolls out to his right, shows that he has the ability to do that. Excellent job of really just kind of flicking his wrists. I think there's a lot of things that he does that can improve. You know, he still isn't able to roll out to the right and throw with the most amazing mechanics here. You know, it'd be better to be able to get a little bit more rotation out of the upper body, more like, you know, how Kyler Murray throws on the run, but it ends up being right where it needs to be. You know, there can be a better position for that ball overall. So a great example of being able to throw on the run as well. And he is very mobile, actually. You know, you might not think that he would be a mobile quarterback, but he is a very, very mobile guy overall. Let's get another one here. So this I love because it's just a great timing route, great position. And I think he's a good example of somebody that really kind of straightens out that front leg. You know, similar to Mahomes in that way, where he has that straight front leg, but still is able to get all of his weight onto that front foot, right? And so it doesn't matter that he doesn't necessarily, keep that soft bend in the knee, because I see a lot of people that talk about how you got to have that soft knee in order to really transfer your weight onto that front leg, and a lot of times that ends up being the case. But for him, he does a good job of continuing to bring his weight forward, even with that leg straight. You can tell, a lot of you guys that are able to do that well have a baseball background, so I'd assume he does have a baseball background as well, just because of how he really straightens off that back leg, and even that initial kind of rotation right there. That's a very baseball-looking movement. And then from there, it just comes right over the top, throws from a very, very tall release point. And I love this, though, because it's just very, very good timing-wise. As soon as the receiver breaks down, he's getting the ball out of his hands, and he's putting it in a position that's outside of where the defender can get to it. Only his guy can get to it, and he's able to make a nice play from there. So a lot of great things, a lot of great accuracy points that I think stands out when you watch Kenny Pickett play. He also is a very big guy. He's a very mobile guy. He seems to be making really good decisions with the football. You don't see him make too many mistakes. And, because of that, I feel like he, should probably be the best quarterback within that 2021 class. I'm just going to go ahead and go out and you got to reach for somebody, right? I think he's the guy that, should be able to go and be the top quarterback. Out of all the quarterbacks I've seen so far within the draft class, I think he adds the most to, a team's potential. Would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you could leave those down below. And, check out Quarterback University. Check out some of the throw programs. I know a lot of you guys are coming to the end of your season, and you're looking to get into what are you going to do into the off season to help you in improving in your throwing power, velocity, a program, just anything that will help you get to the next level, and that's what we're all about as well. So go ahead and check out some of the programs down below in order to get yourself started. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.